Hello and welcome to Your Wise Self with Sarah, the podcast that invites you to slow down, tune in, and take a closer look at your wise self. My name is Sara Klute Behn, and I am so happy to be here with you today to share more with you about human design. Human design has been a fixture in my life now for over 12 years. And I'm really excited to share this with you because it was life changing for me at the time, back in 2014, when I learned about it. And today I use it as part of my health coaching method and process that is going to help women gain more confidence in themselves and their health journey. So let's take a closer look. If you've never heard of human design before, it is a system that's a personalized map because it is based on your birth data that is uniquely designed to help you understand how you operate in the world. It draws from several ancient and modern systems, so astrology, the Chinese I Ching, the Kabbalah, and quantum physics. And it creates this chart unlike any other self knowledge tool I've ever encountered. When you pull your human design chart, you receive a blueprint of how your energy flows naturally. So, where you tend to take energy on from others and be conditioned by other people, and then how you're designed to make decisions in a way that feels aligned and clear, where your consistent strengths live. So, your gifts that are always available to you, I like to call them your superpowers as well, and where you're more open and impressionable. This isn't a personality test. It's not putting you in a box or saying this is exactly how you should make decisions and operate in the world, but it is a unique blueprint that is helpful to living more in alignment with who you are. It will give you the opportunity to feel more confident in so many ways. So, let me share with you a little bit more about my story. I discovered human design in 2014. I had the good fortune of meeting a life coach at that time who helped me learn how to meditate and therefore go off of the anxiety medication I had finally resorted to after years and years of anxiety. I decided it was time, I needed help. I was able to learn how to meditate, go off the medication in a year's time. And also at the same time, he was studying human design and something called soul contract and was able to teach me both about not only me personally, but also I started coaching other people in these two systems. And what I really noticed for myself was that it gave me so much more confidence in who I am and self trust, and just simply understand through my authority, through my strategy. I was able to understand how I best made decisions for myself, which is what in turn boosts my confidence. I also learned to tweak a couple of things about my energy because I learned that I am a manifester, which a manifester is an energy that is here to initiate, here to lead. And sometimes the tendency is to kind of push people out of the way, like, okay, I gotta get to my goal, I gotta get to this whatever thing it is that I want to accomplish. Along the way, manifestors can have a tendency to not tell people or inform people of what their intentions are, what their desires are, what they're really going after. And they're not seeking permission necessarily, but it is important for a manifestor to inform the people around us about what it is that we're doing. This was a huge eye opener for me. And it really felt like it was an opportunity to increase my understanding of myself. And it just really changed my life in so many different ways. So then, fast forward to I go through yoga therapy school, I go through health coaching school. And this to me was another way that I am not a cookie cutter health coach. And what I mean by that is this is something that I bring directly into my 12-week program with my clients and help them see from a health perspective, from a decision perspective, from a strengths and superpowers perspective, and even getting into if they have questions about their purpose or what they're designed best for in their career, we can take a closer look at that. So, really, this provides a compassionate and clear path that will help people see their built in strategy for making decisions. It will also show some of our blind spots where we can get consistent, reliable energy, and then decondition through the process of releasing this I should feel or I should be this way type of messages. These are oftentimes messages that have been absorbed by us over a lifetime. And then we're ending up carrying a weight that is not necessarily ours to carry. So, by deconditioning, by peeling back those layers, shedding those layers, and getting to the root of who you are and how you operate in the world. And I'm not going to tell you anything that you really don't already know in your heart and your soul about yourself. And another bonus that I learned through this recent training, I went through a human design certification with Annalena Fox, who is a true sidereal human design coach. So this is where it gets a little bit fun and interesting, is that I have learned there are two types of astrology. There's our tropical or traditional astrology, where if you were to look at the astrology mandala in the traditional sense, it changes signs every 30 degrees. So this is the way the astrology chart was created thousands of years ago. Tropical is a Western astrology where the zodiac signs are anchored to the seasons, anchored in those 30-degree changes. And then true sidereal astrology is based more in the constellations and what is actually appearing in the sky. So it can be called true sidereal or true sky astrology. And this is accounting for that slow shift in the Earth's axis over the last thousands of years. This oftentimes will result in a different sun sign, so a different astrology sign than what Western astrology shows. So oftentimes this can resonate for people more deeply. For example, in Western or traditional tropical astrology, I am a Cancer. In true sky or true sidereal astrology, I'm a Gemini. I take both of them and what resonates for me most. I'm not saying that you have to be a true sidereal believer or you have to be a tropical believer. I am going to help you find out what feels more resonant, or even look at both charts and just pick and choose from it like a buffet. Like, yes, this resonates and this resonates. And I'm going to piece this together into what feels best for me. At the end of the day, they really don't compete. They complement each other beautifully and together can paint a fuller picture of who you are. And you don't need to know anything about human design for us to work together. I will guide you through what is relevant for your journey based on oftentimes your questions and what feels the most pertinent to you. Let's take a closer look at my chart. So here is my tropical or traditional chart. And you will see that this is the geneticmatrix.com website. This is where I pull charts from. And you can see there's all this information here. And then at first, when you look at this chart, oftentimes people are like, oh my goodness, I want to know what all of it means. And what I can tell you is that the other part that I didn't mention earlier is that this chart is that human design charts also use the Hindu chakra system as part of the chart. So you can see that that's outlined in these centers: your head center, your ajna, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your root, and your sacral. The two that are added into the system specifically for human design are your spleen and your identity center here in the center. Everything does mean something. So whether these centers are undefined or white or open, or if they're defined. And then these gates each have a meaning as well. And then there's channels that run between two defined centers. See how the heart and the throat are defined here. And this is one of my superpower channels. A couple of things that I'm going to take into account when I'm looking at your chart are these defined or undefined centers. I'm also going to come over here and look at the types. I'm a heart manifester, which also means that my inner authority is ego or based on that heart center. Because my heart and my throat are connected, it is really important for me to talk through my decisions, to talk through different scenarios and what feels most resonant in my body, with it being a full body yes or a full body no when I hear myself say it. So these are important aspects that I understand because of my chart. And then my strategies. As I mentioned earlier, it's really important for me to inform and then initiate. I kind of have full permission to go out and initiate in the world, like what it is the goals that I want to accomplish. But there's two factors that slow me down. One is taking the time to talk through my decision first. It's important for me to talk through those decisions and what it is that I am doing. And then along that same line, I'm informing the person, the critical people involved in that situation of what it is I am doing, should I decide to move forward with it and initiate. So this is my tropical or traditional chart. Just for fun, we're just going to do a quick little change over here to my sidereal. Here is my true sidereal or true sky chart. You might have noticed right away that these charts look very different. So this again is where I can work with my clients to help them understand what the charts mean. When I had this read to me by my teacher, Annalena Fox, I said to her, you know, the traditional chart, my tropical chart, feels like very masculine energy to me. I have been a goer, a doer. I make things happen my whole entire life. And I'm ready for some more flow and ease and for it to kind of slow down on more of that masculine energy and tune into more of this feminine energy. And so what she said was that this chart actually does show that. So for me, it was more about the timing of seeing this chart at this point in my life and understanding that this resonates for me as well. As I look at this chart, a few things are a little bit different. For example, my inner authority is going to be the solar plexus or emotional authority, which means I take time to make decisions, which I feel like anytime I have been impulsive in making decisions in the past, that has not served me well. So that's another area where I'm working with clients to help them understand if they're an emotional decision maker and they require time to make decisions, how they can maneuver that in the real world, because sometimes we live in a world that's fast paced and people want answers quickly, that we can slow down and allow time and space for our decisions to be clear and confident at the end of the day. My chart changes from a manifester to a manifesting generator. And this is another important thing that I actually feel really resonates for me as well. Manifesting generators are also people who can make things happen, but oftentimes they are bound by waiting for other people. And it's in the waiting where the wisdom comes. This is where that pause can be really helpful before we head into that project, before we go initiate. Another thing is that manifesting generators can be multi-passionate, which means that they may have a lot of different interests. And that's definitely true for me. As you can probably tell, just alone from my education and my training, from yoga and yoga therapy to moving into health coaching and lifestyle medicine, and now with human design, and being able to offer this to my clients is really important to me, to be able to give them this big picture of a foundation from this kind of physical body, when you think about the yoga therapy and the koshas, we call these the layers of the self. And we start in that physical layer where it's very much about nutrition and movement and all the very physical ways that we are on this health journey. And then we slowly start to work more inside. We start looking at the emotions and, again, how we are conditioned perhaps from the outside world, how we can peel back that conditioning and be reminded of who we are at our core, and then take that newfound confidence, that newfound wisdom, and be able to relay it into our personal relationships, our professional relationships, and all these different ways that we can heal along our wellness journey. Let's take a closer look also at how you can access your chart. If you go to yourwiseselfwithsara.com, you'll see that I've added a tab here called Human Design. When you click on that, it will take you to this page, Human Design and Wellness Profile. So right here, it's talking about, again, everything that I've already mentioned about a personalized look at your energy, your patterns, your well-being, to really help you understand yourself through the lens of energy, self-awareness, and holistic well-being. I'm not going to tell you anything that you don't already know truly in your heart and your soul about yourself. This is, again, it's an uncovering and unveiling of a reminder of who you are at your core, how you process stress, how you make decisions, how you move through relationships, how to support your emotional and physical wellness. So this isn't about like putting ourselves in a box, and it's not about being this or that, but we're a little bit of all of it. There's just some things that will rise more to the top of who we are, and it will help you create greater awareness, more self compassion, and alignment with the ways that you function the best. So, as you explore through this page, it's going to tell you a little bit more about the ways that human design is beneficial, the ways that we can be more compassionate to ourselves, questions around, maybe why am I always exhausted? Why can't I keep up? What is my purpose? Is my body or my mind or both asking for something different? And here you can enter your birth data. So you can look at a traditional chart, which is what I was just showing you in the genetic matrix website, or you can do a mandala. So here I already have mine selected. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up so you can see that here, and then you can download that. So there's my human design chart located within the mandala or the astrology mandala. Another area that you can see some significant energy, for example, is going to be where those planets are placed in the chart. For example, I have 3 planets that's here in this Libra sign, and the 48 is a gate that is connected within my chart. So the fun part is that we can go through, if you schedule an appointment with me, if you want to go through my Thrive After 40 program, you get 3 sessions that are dedicated to your human design chart, and we can take a closer look at what this all means. So you can see here, again, it was relating back to that manifester. My strategy is to inform, and profile is another really interesting and helpful aspect of the chart. And what I love too is that I was able to add in a free health report. So I'm going to download that now and show you just a little bit about what that looks like. So you download this health chart, and this is 3 ways to use your human design to improve your health. You can read through this, download this. This is going to pull up your information completely free. Again, there's the human design chart as you saw previously. And then it's going to take me into the 3 specific areas that are going to be key for my health and wellness. Under the sacral center in my chart, it is undefined. So it's going to talk about how you are designed to sleep. And by the way, I should also mention that this report is only available in the tropical format. when we meet, I can run it and provide you the true sidereal or true sky report as well. So when we look at how I'm designed to sleep, it is undefined, which means it's white or open, and that I need to give myself time to unwind at the end of the day. Ideally, I'm lying down by myself. I do something relaxing like meditation or breath work and reading a relaxing book. It's not a time to watch scary movies, which I do like scary movies, or worry about what's going to happen tomorrow. Or if I am worried about what's going to happen tomorrow, I can write it out so that I can let it just be out of my mind. This is that time to let go of any of the sacral energy that I've soaked up from the throughout the day. And what we do know is about 70% of the population has a defined sacral. So even if I do not live with someone who has a defined sacral, the chances are that I've been conditioned by one at some point in time throughout my day. So that is good information that's helpful to me. And then we go down to the root center. The root center is a pressure center. So this is about how I'm going to deal with pressure and overwhelm. The undefined root center is under constant pressure to go, 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 and do, do, do. If you know me, I'm a goer and I'm a doer. I definitely have slowed down as I've gotten older, but there can be this voice that talks about when I get this done, then I can rest. When I get that done, then I can rest. So I have to remind myself that to give myself rest throughout the day. And I will say that I have committed, long ago when I learned about this, when I learned about my energy type, that I have given myself 15 to 30 minutes a day to rest and reset. And that's been a constant that has been a part of my healing journey, that I knew I needed that rest each day to help me recharge. So if I'm in this space where I haven't done the work, I can feel stressed all the time. I can feel where I'm experiencing panic attacks, where I'm feeling depressed because I feel like I can't keep up. My adrenal system is getting exhausted and overworked and burnt out. So, amplifying that stress and pressure from those around me also can make me feel frenetic at times. So these are things that are key that I have had to work through over time. And I can help you also understand how to relax and ease into things versus continuing to go, go, go. So it also reminds me that for me to be healthy, I need to allow myself to step away from the pressure. Some days I will have energy to exercise like crazy, and then some days I might just lie on my yoga mat and do nothing, or so it seems. And just being okay with that and leaning into my inner guidance to help me what I need. And so listening to my body, not my mind, because the mind can be a trickster. It can play games on us, but really tuning into my body, what I feel I need the most. And then lastly, this is the third center that's part of this free report, is the spleen center. The spleen center is about my immune system, how I'm designed to work, and it's also undefined in this particular tropical or traditional chart. And so this could be that I have a sensitive immune system, which does not mean that it's weak. It means that it's sensitive to understanding and sensing what is going on around me. So it can pick up threats to my immune system. So I could smell food and think, oh, I don't want to eat that. And that is going to serve me well as long as I listen to my intuition. So I have a keen awareness of my own health and the health of those around me. So oftentimes medical intuitives have this undefined spleen. The downfall of an undefined spleen is that we have a tendency to hold on too long. And this can be where understanding that I need to let go of things in order to heal is part of my wellness and well-being journey. A lot of these things I've known about for 12 plus years. So I've really been able to focus on this, understand this, and work through it. But a good practice here is evaluating things in my life on a regular basis in a ritual such as journaling. For me, it has been a regular meditation practice and really listening to my intuition. So, as it says here, you already have everything you need. Sometimes you just need someone like myself who can help you see it. And that's exactly what I'm here for, to help you recognize your superpowers, understand how you're designed to make decisions, and build real lasting confidence from the inside out. So when you're ready to take your health journey to the next level and explore Thrive After 40, which is going to have 3 human design sessions built right into that process. Either way, I would love to just have a discovery call with you. You can book that here at Your Wise Self with Sarah. You can use this QR code. And if you're listening, go to my website, Your Wise Self with Sarah, click on Human Design, get your free chart, get your free health report, is what I just walked through here. So you can take a closer look at that for yourself as well. And then again, book some time with me. Let's look through that chart together. Let's go in and deep dive into your chart even more. I hope today that I was able to give you a clearer picture about what human design is, what it means to me, and how I utilize it in my health coaching sessions to make it a personalized approach, specifically helpful to you in your life journey, your wellness journey. Thank you so much for being here today, for tuning in. And I will put in the show notes again how to connect with me, how to get your human design chart for free, how to get that free health report on my website, yourwiseselfwithsarah.com, and click human design up in the menu. And you do need to have your birth data in order to be able to run your birth chart. If you don't know your birth time, feel free to reach out to me. My email is Sarah, S-A-R-A, at thrivewithcoachsarah.com. That's all spelled out. So thrivewithcoachsarah.com. Thanks so much, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, stay wise.